Revenge films.
My name is Takashi Tsukayama, 32. I'm just a regular businessman. Every day I spend an hour going to my workplace. While I didn't mind my job, it was the train ride that sucked the most. But it's okay. Soon I will be able to work remotely from my home. Due to the recent COVID epidemic, most businesses opted for working remotely rather than in person. Being able to work from home allows us to ignore any commute to work, making it more efficient. Not to mention being able to work in the comfort of my house in my regular clothes instead of a suit and tie. It really helps with the quality of life for many people. However, there are many business CEOs that don't like the idea of working remotely. This was the case for the company I work at. The company I work at also adopted the remote work incentive due to the pandemic. At first, I was skeptical of the whole thing. I was working with other big-named companies, which made me worried that this will affect my work relationships with them, ultimately decreasing the productivity due to things going remote. The higher-ups understood the situation. It only took me around half a month to get the hang of working online. One of our corporate members told everyone that remote working wasn't actually working. Everyone in the company already knew him as an old-fashioned guy, which is the reason he was against working remotely in the first place. He thought that being able to physically see the workers working was the only way to know if the company was going well. He valued the worker being in the office more than actual work being done. He even romanticized the work environment of everyone being busy. His crusade against remote work continued for a while. Any outcome done online is not real. He deducted pay from everyone who was working online, which didn't include some of the workers who were still working in the office. Our initial pay was 350,000 yen per month, but it was deducted to 140,000. Even though everyone boycotted the new initiative, the higher-ups ignored us. Working from home is a disgusting form created for those who want to do work in their pajamas and eat while working. In fact, there may be some people that are drinking during their work time. So no matter how much you work, it's really not working, is it? Anything you do in an online setting isn't as worthwhile as working at the company in person. It made no sense. We still did the same amount of work as before. Why do we have to have our pay cut? In fact, the company was the one to push the remote work initiative. Why do we have to get punished for something our company required us to do? But they didn't listen to us. Working remotely is not working. If you really wanted to work, come to the office. This ultimately led many, including myself, to leave the company. I understand the old generation clinging to their ideology. They've worked in the same environment for too long to accept new things. While our CEO and some other higher-ups scolded Mubita for not adapting to a new environment, it didn't change his mind. Maybe you guys are thinking, oh, the CEO is on our side, but that doesn't mean crap! The policy is already in motion! That was the last straw for me. Mubita was actively enjoying deducting our pay, so I didn't see a future with this company. I didn't understand that the CEO and other higher-ups were actively pushing for remote work, even going as far as scolding other people who went against them. I guess the managers still had powers over their immediate subordinates. Even when we went full remote, there were still some that were against the policy and kept going into the office. They were rewarded for their stupidity by our manager, even earning a pay raise for the whole thing without having to do anything, while the people who actually followed the company policy were punished for it. When we tried talking to Mubita, he said, "You guys are becoming lazy with remote work." That's why I left the company without planning ahead. In fact, many followed suit, and most of the workers who were under Mubita left the company by the third quarter. By the end, everyone who worked online quit the job. After the mass quitting, Mubita kept on calling us for petty things. He even accused us of poaching our previous clients. Not only that, he would contact his ex-workers to threaten them and their families. Every time he did that, the CEO of the company had to personally apologize to the families to save the company's face. After talking to my friends from my previous work, they told me that they heard our manager was slowly losing his influence in the company. I actually got a phone call from Mubita a few days after I left the company. I thought he was going to say what he told most of the ex-coworkers. "Tsukayama, could you please come back?" I was taken by surprise. He seemed very desperate for something. "What happened? Is everything alright?" Apparently, after I left the company, they put a complete rookie in charge of my clients. The clients were furious about the decision. "How dare you change the person in charge without saying anything? And you bring me this guy? Are you trying to make a fool out of me?" They even threatened to back down as a client. Not to mention that my client was one of the biggest ones. If they were to lose him, the company would be in deep trouble. That's why he sounded desperate. "The client told us that if we were to come back to the company, they would remain as clients. So please, can you come back? If you accept this job and bring back the client, I'll raise your pay by 50%. "Sure, I'll come back." "Really?" "But on one condition." "What is it?" "If you want me back, you have to fire the guy that told us remote work isn't actually working. I'm talking about you, Mubita." "What?" Needless to say, he didn't accept my condition. My old client immediately pulled out of the deal after hearing the news. After all the functioning workers of the company left, Mubita started hiring new recruits who had no idea what was waiting for them. The new recruits are forced to work tirelessly under the management of Mubita. In the end, the company went bankrupt with the lack of adequate management and the pandemic going at full force. I felt terrible for the CEO, who was trying his best to keep the company afloat. But I guess they were still responsible for not firing incompetent managers. "Thank you for coming in, Tsukayama. Thank you for inviting me in. I'm pleased to work with you." As for myself, I took the job offer given to me by my previous client.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.